So this is our first joint Inktober.
That's true.
First time we have done Inktober together as a couple.
The first time I ever did it, period.
Yeah, this is your first Inktober, so I'm definitely interested in hearing your thoughts. So what made you decide to do Inktober this year?
Well, it was kind of last minute decision. I saw a lot of other people on DeviantArt and on Discord, and they all kind of wanted to get into it. I don't know, it was just spur of the moment. I had my sketchbook with me at the time, and I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to try to do a simple drawing every day, because one of the things that I have a really hard time with is finishing pictures, and I think that the reason that I have such a hard time finishing pictures is because I tend to make them over complicated, and then dig myself into a hole where all my drawings get so ambitious that I don't ever end up actually doing them.
Yeah, I have the same problem to some extent. You've seen how involved some of my Inktober drawings got, and they're not really supposed to be that involved.
I also thought it was kind of an interesting experiment/opportunity to figure out what I could draw in a short span of time that I would like to draw, things that I actually enjoy drawing. I figured maybe forcing myself to come up with an idea that I could do in not just under 24 hours, usually in under an hour, because I only usually had about an hour to work on these on my lunch break at work. And even though I did end up finishing some of them at home, in fact, towards the end I was finishing almost all of them at home, I did manage to squeeze in most of these in just that 1 hour.
Doing a whole drawing in an hour takes a lot of discipline, which I definitely do not have.
Well, that's not true.
I don't have the discipline to do an entire thing in an hour.
I got them done in an hour because they're super simple, dear.
Yeah, they're not that simple.
Yeah, well, the complicated ones took me too long. The most complicated one I didn't finish.
The reason I did Inktober, I actually have been doing Inktober since 2016. All of my Inktober drawings are based on that one story I was working on, and it has been for the last 3 years. I would just do things related, not only to the official prompts, but also approach it as if I'm trying to illustrate something from the story, or, just sometimes it's just been like just stupid, out of character, extra things. Okay, what does this remind me of in my own story, or what character does this remind me of, or what scene does this remind me of? And I'll try to draw something around that, because I'm not really good at pulling things like directly out of my butt. My butt needs context.
Right.
So I did pretty much all of these drawings based on my characters and my writing, which is kind of makes it a little inaccessible, I think. I wasn't sure if other people would like them that much. It's something that no one has heard of,
So, day one.
Day one.
This is Coriander and
her brother. And her 3 dogs, which were not in previous revisions of the story. I just felt like it needed more dogs. So it may not look like it's related to the theme. The first word was poisoned, right?
It was.
But I was kind of thinking of that word in like an emotional sense, connoting a lack of trust in their relationship and suspicion creeping in. They used to be really close as family, but then he was away for a while, and then he comes back suddenly, and spoilers, What made you decide to draw a tree?
I like drawing trees.
Yeah, and you're good at it. Trees are hard, man.
No, they're not.
When I was like in first grade, and there was this girl who had totally hacked how to draw trees, and they were just like a bunch of letter Ys, but they looked so realistic.
Pretty
and I was
much.
like, how does she do that? My trees just look like
What, have
like
you never been able to draw a
lollipops.
fucking Y before?
No, it was just like she had an intuition for it. My little first grade brain was like, holy shit.
I don't understand how somebody being raised in this area could not draw proper trees. Come on. Day 2.
Day 2.
She almost looks like she's underwater.
Yeah, I was trying to just do water effects. I didn't really have anything too much in mind.
We didn't coordinate that at all, but we ended up doing something very similarly.
Yeah,
themed.
you did
That was one that just kind of popped into my head the night before, and I was just like, I think that would be fun
I'm
to
going to draw
draw.
an octopus with a skull. Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Stuff pops into my head a lot.
You should keep doing things that pop into your head.
So day 3.
Day 3 was
Roasted.
I was just thinking about Wolfenute and how you celebrate it by eating roasted meat, because dogs.
Day 4.
So you did the eye. It kind of reminds me of Sauron.
It's not.
I know, it just reminds me a little.
You reminded everybody of Sauron, but it's not.
I know it's nice.
It's a fucking crystal ball.
Yeah.
Crystal ball. It's got an eyeball in the middle.
Yeah.
Whatever. Is it
like
because it's on fire? Is that why it's so ambiguous?
No, it's not ambiguous. I know it's a crystal ball, but it just looks like something Sauron would have on his bedside table or something.
I really like the one that you did. I thought the lighting effects were pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to go for something a little more dramatic because some of my ink wash stuff gets really wishy-washy and muddy, so I was just trying to be like, boom.
Right.
Kapow.
Well, I really like the one that you did for day 5.
The
Roasted peacock, wasn't it?
It was chicken, except it wasn't chicken. It's a peacock, and I don't even know what that tastes like.
Bet it tastes like chicken. Yeah, that was the one where I decided the prompt was dumb and I just wanted to draw a sword.
Yeah.
I was trying to make it look like the sword got plunged into the ground at super high speeds or something like that, and it melted the rocks, and the rocks froze in that position around the sword. Day 6 and 7, you decided to do in one picture.
Yeah, that was actually not a decision so much as it took too long, and I just decided to combine them because I wasn't going to have time to do
So
both.
one was drooling and one was exhausted. Yeah, when you're exhausted and you go to sleep, you tend to drool.
I do. Me specifically, I do that.
I know you do. Spider was dumb.
No, it was cute.
And then the mushrooms for exhaustion.
That was cute.
Day 8, we both drew telescopes.
Mine is very non-technical. It's just like a tube. I was having trouble with the perspective. I actually modeled that whole room in Blender. It helped a little. Not much. I like how yours looks like something that could actually technically work, and mine's just like a tube.
Well,
series
no,
of
it technically
tubes.
wouldn't work. It's not even in a straight line. It's crooked.
That's okay.
Probably some really weird optics going on inside there.
It's an interdimensional telescope.
Well, it's also a binocular telescope. I don't know if you noticed that. Ultimately, you probably wouldn't see anything anyway because there's a fucking crosshair in front of it.
Interdimensional binoculars.
Day 9.
Day 9.
Well, to me, there's nothing more precious than knowledge. I think the most precious realization that you can make is that you're not going to be alive forever, and you don't take anything with you when you die. You may have lots of things and be real happy about it, or you don't have lots of things and you're not real happy about it. But either way, none of us can escape the end of our lives, and at the moment that we are no longer here, all of that stuff stays here. It can't belong to you forever. It doesn't even belong to you now, technically.
This is a scene I actually rewrote several times. Sage just escaped from a perilous situation and reunites with his mom, and knowing that your loved ones are safe is precious. Family is precious.
Day 10.
I had to draw Iris for that.
I ran out of ideas and I was just like, fuck it. I was just draw a fountain. Day 11.
11.
Which was cruel.
So I just drew the villain because I'm creative like that. But I really liked yours with the bird and the chain and the ball. Don't
Yeah, it was I was still struggling to
description
get the shading down right. Day 12. This is one of my favorites of yours. I love the way you do whales, by the way.
Really?
I like the
literally
way
have
you
never
kinda,
drawn whales before.
I know, but I like the way you change their proportions a little bit.
I was really just trying to generalize. Like, I literally just Google image searched whales and tried to do a generic whale.
Yeah, no, they kind of look like baby blue whales. I think this was the first one where I had to finish it at home.
I love it.
I started it and it got really out of hand really fast.
But it's so cool. It's so worth it.
I actually kind of enjoyed that one. Not as much as the next one, though. And of course, my first thought was defense. I want to do armor, but let's not put armor on a person because people aren't very well guarded. Let's put armor on a fucking tortoise because armor plus armor equals
more armor.
I don't think it would move very quickly, but I don't think it would need to either. That kind of made me want to do like an entire series of armored animals.
You really should. You're really good at doing armor and animals. So you should do it.
You gonna help me?
Yeah, I'm not good at either of those things. You saw my demon horses. Speaking of demon horses, I drew another one for day 13 here.
It's not a demon horse.
I am so bad at horses. They just crawled up out of the uncanny valley.
Please. 14 was initially one that I was very excited about, but then as soon as I started working on it, I was just like, what have I done? That's the only one that I did any digital editing on. I tried to darken some areas in it. A couple of areas ended up being too dark. A lot of the details got kind of muddled and lost. Your water clock is really interesting.
Yeah, I literally, again,
very inspired, honestly.
I just Googled it. I literally just Googled a water clock and tried to make it a little more ornamental.
About day 15.
Day 15.
I had fun with that one.
The bandit.
I couldn't think of a better way to illustrate weakness than in drawing something structurally unsound. That's like a proper welded hoisting chain.
Oh, damn.
That's the kind of thing you would lift a car with. So yeah, Band-Aid's not going to help.
Lift a car with a Band-Aid. Sounds like a recipe for fun. Yeah, I had a little trouble doing the prompt here because I was trying to think, well, what is weakness? Like, do I have weak characters or themes of weakness in my story? So then I was thinking, well, Sage is probably a character who would be considered weak, but he's been through a lot, like a lot more than you'd think. And he's a healer, so he's seen people at their worst. So I was thinking of that line, don't mistake my kindness for weakness.
I tried to draw a dragon entirely out of triangles.
And it was awesome.
It was very difficult.
I like your triangle dragon. One of my major influences in the past 10 years was my best friend Kat and her style of drawing, because she has like the coolest style. I just want to be that cool. And it's very angular and clean and sharp. I think Iris and Oxalis are just very angular characters anyway, so they kind of fit the theme.
That's true, eh?
Yeah, they're pointy. Team pointy.
I had an idea for a much larger, much more ambitious airship, and I ended up bailing on that concept because I didn't think I'd be able to finish it in time. So I
Aw.
drew this little dinky air boat.
I like it. I
Air,
like it. It's got personality.
It's like an air toboggan.
I like the air toboggan.
It's stupid.
No, I like it. I couldn't think of anything to do for swollen either, but I was thinking of water. When there's a flood, people say the water is swollen or there's a swell. And then I was thinking of that Peter Gabriel song, Here Comes the Flood. And there's a line in it, stranded starfish have no place to hide, still waiting for the swollen Easter tide. I was thinking of that and a part in the story where there's a flood and there's not a giant basket starfish in the story. I just really wanted to draw a giant basket starfish. So the giant floating starfish is a symbol for things being out of place and turned on their head. It's symbolism.
Day 18. I was running low on inspiration that day. I started drawing that while I was at the doctor's office getting my arm checked out. Still broken, by the way.
But it looks really good. I mean, you're drawing. I don't know about your arm. I mean, your arm looks good too, but...
It still can't support my weight. Impressive.
Oh, geez. I was reaching here too.
How did you even do that?
I drew the outline of the bottle in pencil, I think, and then I sort of drew where the lightning was supposed to go. And then I painted with the ink in between it and did a little bit of outlining, and then I erased all the pencil. Next is 19.
Scorched. Explain to me what's going on in your picture.
Well, I think I was drunk when I was drawing it, but it's basically a flashback. One of the times when Rose saved Laurel's life. Tell me about your pumpkins.
It was marginally inspired by a pumpkin burning party that we went to a couple years ago.
That was cool.
Where we carve pumpkins and then make fire come out of their face.
That sounds dangerous and awesome.
It's a lot of fun, yeah. Day 20. What's the story behind this vase?
The vase isn't really anything specific in the story. I think I made an allusion to something like it offhand once, but there's a thing in Japanese culture where broken vessels are mended with gold so that a thing that's broken and repaired is more valuable than the thing before it was broken. The repairing of the damage in itself can be a thing of beauty and value.
You put that in front of a picture of Iris and her mom as a symbolic...
symbol of their relationship.
Just because they had a falling out. Nothing too special about the heart except that this was the first picture ever that I used art markers. And I pretty much used art markers for every other drawing after that. Day 21.
Very timely.
Well, that picture doesn't make me very happy, so I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about your beautiful piece.
Oh, geez. Well, that came out of current events and me not being happy about things either. I was just feeling drained from listening to the news and being on Twitter all day and shit going down the tubes. So I just wanted to draw something peaceful and kind of subtly put in some pride flag colors.
Sweetheart.
Yeah.
It's not that subtle.
It's not that subtle? Oh, good.
Oh, good, she says.
Yeah, well, I didn't want it to be too subtle, but I didn't want people to be like, oh, you have an agenda. Yeah, my agenda is like not being a dick to people.
Was 22 the one that I didn't do?
22 was expensive. I think that was, yeah, you did the castle.
Yeah,
for
that was the one I did. I tried to do a castle, and it just didn't look very nice.
I couldn't think of anything expensive to draw. I mean, there are a lot of characters who are like wealthy and whatever, but... And so I just drew one of Laurel's friends stealing expensive things because she has a little bit of a kleptomania issue. I think she just likes to do it to piss off Laurel, really. She's just like, you can't do anything about it. I'm gonna steal shit.
Well, if it's what you're good at.
Oh, yeah, 23. That was another one where I was kind of reaching a lot. At first, I was thinking about a lotus growing in the mud, you know, symbolic stuff. But then I kind of just drew, like, Iris being really pissed off.
Yeah, she looks like she's about to fuck somebody up.
She is.
Who knocked her in the mud?
This is also during spoiler when... Remember that?
Vaguely. Day 24, I don't think you did one for 24.
24?
That was Chop, wasn't it?
Yeah, I kind of skipped that one. But you did the Pokemans.
Yeah, no, because I did the Mudkip one before, and I was just
Yeah.
like in a Pokemon mood, so I did
They're
more
so
Pokemon.
Cute. I like your Pokemon, and I like the texture on them with the art markers. I like how you used the cool and the warm gray, or is that the brown one? Is that the French gray?
It's just cool and warm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know the Prismacolors come in cool gray, warm gray, and French gray. I don't know what the French gray is French. It's just French. What did you do for 25? Oh, prickly?
The rose with the bee, because bees are pricks.
Bees are, but they're necessary to the ecosystem.
Are they?
Yeah. If we didn't have bees, we'd all be dead.
That
True
was
story.
for day 25. Did you do a day 25?
I did. I did the one with Iris's mom's house being all moody and gothic.
Oh, you posted it on the 26th.
Did I? Oh, yeah, that's right. It took me
You must have
like
missed the
3
day.
days. Yeah. At first, I was thinking it would be for chop because of all the overgrown stuff. Like, you'd have to chop your way through it. But then it took longer than that day. So I was like, well, it's also kind of prickly because there's like vines and thorns and shit. So then, I finally
save.
finished it. Yeah,
Smooth.
it's not that smooth.
You did a redraw of one of
my really old drawings of Laurel.
Yeah,
That drawing.
that was
I
a really,
did.
really old.
Yeah, from 2005. I think it was around the time that I first signed up for DeviantArt. It was also, I think, one of the first times that I drew Laurel that she actually looked sort of the way she does now.
I like the fact that your main character is super tall because you're.
I'm super short, just like Sage. Actually, even Sage is taller than me because he's like 5 feet even, and I'm 4'10".
I just pet the dog.
Pet the dog. Critical pet. Dude, you haven't played Deltarune yet, have you?
Nope.
You gotta play it, dude.
I will play it.
You gotta play Deltarune.
And that week was like my fan art week because I did nothing but fan art that week.
That's okay. Fan art's good. Fan art's relatable.
So day 27 was Thunder.
Thunder, and then you did the Thor Pikachu.
Thor Raichu.
Thor Raichu, durr. What I did for Thunder, that was the one that I finished on the train into Philadelphia when
That
we
was
were going to the bookstore.
the one with the bridge.
Yeah, with Iris in her home city looking over the river and the bridge. The city is literally on 2 sides of a gorge. It's kind of geographically based on like Watkins Glen in New York, but bigger.
Day 28, the word was gift. Of course, everybody, the first thought they had was Christmas. And I was like, get your fucking Christmas out of my Halloween. So I drew
Really?
a Christmas box that was going to eat people. Since all the previous drawings were all fan art, I actually wanted to draw Jack Skellington holding the gift that was going to eat you. But ultimately, I ended up just drawing a box with teeth.
Well, Jack Skellington is there in spirit, I'm sure.
And you drew
Coriander
Coriander.
adopting her first dog.
Its eyebrows are the same color as her hair.
Yeah, I only used like 2 or 3 colors in this whole picture. I just like any excuse to draw dogs. I'm drawing a dog.
Your next one is probably your most impressive. The details on the 2 sides of the wall.
I always try to like shoehorn too much backstory iconography into these things, so. Oh, and you did the never-ending story Sphinx ladies.
Sorta, kinda. I didn't really draw them exactly the same. I gave them masks because their eyes freaked me out.
I like it. Actually, the masks are pretty freaky too.
And I drew some cool-looking Stargate-looking thing in the background.
Their wings always kind of freaked me out because it didn't look like they could fly with them.
Yeah, no, they were very menacing. 2 giant statues that just stand there, never move, and kill people. Day 30, I literally had to go look up what jolt meant because I was just like, what? How do you draw jolt? I don't even know what jolt is. And the first definition, the one I went off of, was a sudden violent movement. What's more violent than being ejected out of a car at high speeds? What was yours? That was Sage coming up to the rail there?
He's staying at Rose and Tamarind's Inn, and there's this whole thing with an earthquake happening on the other side of town, and he gets woken up in the middle of the night. You remember that part? It was sort of like right before the... Yeah, spoilers, but... If I ever finish it, it'll be spoilers. If not, it'll just be incomprehensible. Forever.
Now explain to me this last one that you did.
I was just going to draw Oxalis cutting through something with his magic power, but it kind of turned into a circle instead of like a slice. I made his arm too long and it bothers me.
Why does it bother you? He's a very skeletal dude.
Yeah, but his other arm isn't that long and it looks like he
Yes,
has
it is.
one long arm. And
No, they look like the same length.
Okay, good. Because I wasn't sure. I don't mind the proportions being weird as long as they're consistently weird. But yours is awesome with the pie and the thing.
Yeah, I was out of ideas.
Oh, but the pie reminds me of Undertale
Slice.
too.
I heard slice and I was just like, I'm kind of hungry. So I just drew a bunch of food and figured I'd make it a celebration of autumn. And I kind of wanted a pumpkin pie. I think next year we should do all of our Inktober drawings together.
Dude, yeah, that would be fun.